All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the best of ECL highlights. This game was certainly one of the better ones, certainly one of the most well played, one of the highest performance from the entire tournament on Arabia, a map that demands raw mechanics, skill. Whilst editing this down, I heard Nili and Ormlu, who were casting. At the end of the game, they were very impressed. They wanted to watch it again, but from each player's perspective. I'm told by Robo this was one of the better ones. So another good game to watch, perhaps a gem from the tournament. We've got 5 more planned for this series. Enjoy the video.
But I think we're ready to go, so we should be starting. Secret chose Arabia, which was their home map here, as Robo says.
And I think that's not surprising because Secret, I think you can't really argue that on paper they have the strongest lineup. I mean, the results kind of speak for that. And Arabia, more than any other map in this map pool, is going to favor the team with just the best raw mechanical skill, best team coordination. And yeah, not surprising they would go for the old classic as their home map, which we will be getting into right now.
Yeah, should be an interesting series. First time, at least I am seeing Arabia here, the home map of Secret. So they have to be confident. Probably the most played map in all Age of Empires, and pure skill.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's just all about that pure skill. And just as a, I guess, recap, these two teams did face each other twice, I believe, in Battle of Africa, which was kind of the last, big team game tournament. And Secret won, I believe, both times 3-2. So, yeah,
Also after being behind, right?
Yes, I believe that is correct. Hopefully Zap's okay, so Zach's loaded into the game, so we can introduce the players finally.
Left-hand side, Doubt Borsteel. Sorry for interrupting.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, didn't even see that. So that's going to be a nice little start there for Doubt. And speaking of which, our Lord and Savior Grass Doubt will be in the purple as the Mayans on the left flank. His pocket will be the Viper in his trademark yellow as the Franks. And the right-hand player will be Tato in the red as the Mongols. And I hear a boar steal, and it will be because Valessa is stealing the boar of Tato, which is never something you want as a Mongol player. And speaking of Valessa, he'll be our green mine player in the right flank. Pocket will be the Max in his cyan as a Paladin Civ in the Franks. And finally, Zupi, the blue Ethiopians on the left side.
Okay. Sorry, I just confused myself. Okay, so actually it looks quite solid, right? Franks, both pocket, and we have kind of the Archer civilizations at the flank. It feels like Tato with Mongols. Will he also go for archers here, or will he try to play scouts? That's kind of the thing that we need to take the closest look at. It feels like the Xiaomi players will just go archers flank, scouts pocket.
Yeah, remember when I said that these two teams like to play standard meta stuff? That is almost certainly what we're going to be seeing right here. Although Tato being down a boar, that is not what you want as Mongols, who of course, more than any other Civ benefit from having those extra boar. And yeah, we'll be able to lure some deer, but this is potentially going to hamper the big advantage of Mongols in the early game, which is the lightning fast up times they can have. So this is already not that great for Secret.
4 deer to push, kind of close to TC though, so he will still be able to do a pop 21 or something. Tato, is he spotting his 2 sheep there? Oh boy! This is another Zero Empires. Go into the point of view of Tato and click in Fog of War in and out. Searcheroo game.
Oh, feels Ornlu, man. That's all I got to say about that. I mean,
It gets closer, but still doesn't see it.
Okay, oh my! Are you kidding me? Okay, he's got him. He sees him. There was a second where it was like the exact 2 tiles that the sheep were located. Tato didn't see, but he's got it. He at least knows where the sheep are. Of course, it will prioritize the deer, but he can pick up the sheep in due course. And as players are hitting the 21 pop mark, I assume that yes, Max and Viper both going to be clicking up. I would not be surprised at all to see the good old scout war from these guys.
Yeah, it has to be scouts. So important in 3-3. You kind of lose so much momentum if one of your flanks is not really getting the scout support. We see Dowd and Zupi left hand side up as well. And Tado is now following. The only player missing for now is Mr. Belize, who is clicking up here as well. And very mirror matchy this far. Nothing else we expected from two teams so close to each other in skill.
Oh yeah, certainly. And as we are waiting for everyone to get on up to feudal age, don't even think we're seeing any men-at-arm aggression. Nilly, what do you favor as this is, a mirror matchup in Franks and Mayans? What do you think of Ethiopians versus Mongols as to what they bring to the table?
Well, Ethiopians versus Mongols aren't really facing each other, right? It is Mongols against Mayans, and this might get tricky. I think Secret took kind of the safer approach with Mongols because then you have two potential pocket civilizations. On the other side, the Finns, they kind of needed Franks at the pocket. Otherwise, they'd always be in a deficit when it comes to, positioning. So, safer approach, but small disadvantage here with Mongols. Tedo will just play normal archers as well and might fall behind in numbers against Felice.
Yeah, definitely. Mayans, of course, very strong with the good old flush, cheaper archers, good economy, all that normal stuff. And it's going to be pretty hard for Mongols on the flank to really comfortably get up to the late game Mangudai Deathball where they're at their strongest. Meanwhile, Ethiopians can compete with Mayans in the early Archer War much better and have a much more even power spike throughout the game, like the Mayans do.
Yeah, that's true. Mayans, mass crossbowmen, Mangoda is what you said. It is kind of a tricky scenario, right? You might have a lot of losses before that. Really need to get on to your numbers, need to be safe, need to control your stone, which is nicely positioned for Tado in the back. But that's more of a very long-term plan. We will see a lot more kills before we see Mangodas.
Oh yes, definitely. Although we do have to remember that Ethiopians might not have the greatest answer to plumed archers. Might be a bit of a problem for Zupi if doubt gets to that point. But I mean, it's going to be a little while before we get there, and kind of interesting archery range positions for Zupi, don't you think? Kind of random.
For Zupi, well, I felt the archery ranges were random for Doubt. Yeah, Zupi, well, it's just to build them quickly. Later on, he can wall a bit more, walled everything to the edge of the map. So, yeah, that's how the Finns are, liking it. Villager count pretty much dead even here for everyone.
Yep, nothing too crazy happening. Only a couple deaths of scouts here and there. You have Viper chasing the Max back to his team's base, but nothing too crazy going on. We do see the beginnings of team walls, I think, starting to be established by both teams.
Somewhat of a big fight in the center of the map. Viper against the Max
Ooh,
here,
there we
both
go.
trying to micro a bit. Feels like the Max might have one better number, but Viper took a bit of a better fight to begin with. I think the Max is winning this one.
It's hard to tell. I think Viper's winning it.
I think so as well. I'm at
Uh,
1420.
Me as well. Oh,
1440.
yeah. Okay. Well, looks like the Max will be able to. Well, never mind. Viper taking about as good engagement as you can. You can see in the kill death ratio, Viper little ways ahead of the Max in that regard.
That's weird because both are going for the exact same unit, right? Frank's pocket there, and now Teto is coming in the center as well. And Release, he's heavily out of position, so they might push the center quite nicely here. At the moment, the Max nicely walled, but that will be some aggression knocking at his door pretty quickly. Zupi now coming over to help though, and Teto, he will not have the numbers.
Yeah, maybe Zupi can get the engagement off there. But nice micro from Tato so far. Also throwing a scout in the mix just to draw a bit of arrow fire. So it's two archers down for just one scout. But now we
Look at
got,
that, all six players on the same
yeah,
screen. That's what we want to see in a 3v3 team game here. But Zupi taking heavy losses. Better team play by the secret players. You don't want to be at the same screen. You actually want to kiss each other when it comes to taking engagements. And well, Team Secret just playing this a bit more compact. Beautiful team play.
Yep. Can't really say it any better than that. It's like we said, it's these two teams really liking focusing on the team play, just the raw mechanical aspect of it, rather than like the crazy wonky strategic aspect of it, like the Chinese teams do. And really, just beautiful execution there from Secret, which is what we expect from them. I mean, Viper in doubt, both with excellent kill death ratios. Max and Zupi, not so much. And now Zupi is going to be on the defensive as we have lots of secret units pouring down his base.
Let's see. He's sitting behind a bit of walls, but not having the greatest archer numbers, losing one even. His teammates, they're still 1.5 screens away. We might see a move in against Zupi. Will have some houses behind us. I think he will be kind of fine.
Yeah, I think, like you're saying, the houses will prevent Secret from actually like diving in. That would just kind of be a bit of a death trap because you'd have no way of escaping. And the faster reinforcements of your opponent would likely crush your army. But see who can take the hill right here. Looks like it will be Doubt, but Valessa has the greater numbers of archers. This is probably going to be a fairly even fight. Viper coming in with the scouts, though. Where's
Oh, nice.
Tato?
Yeah, Tato is just running away. It was never an even fight. It was Zupi and Belize just getting onto the high numbers. The thing is that, well, Doubt got completely crushed there on the hill, is now pulling back with all his archers. They need to go back and lick their wounds. At the same time, Viper is adding a second stable, and it looks like 5 players on the way to Castle Age. Only Zupi was missing, but now he clicked up as well. Pretty similar timing when it comes to Castle Age by all the players as well.
Yep, definitely. And I think that the Finnish guys were able to take that fight just because it was so hard for Tato to ever reinforce his teammates' army, as Zupi is literally on the opposite side of the map, and archers being very slow, not going to be able to reinforce his teammate as anywhere nearly as easily as the Suomi guys. Now, everyone getting to the Castle Age, likely going to be seeing knights, crossbows, and booming.
Yeah, I just checked all the flanks are going for more crossbows here at 21 minutes 10 seconds. And well, both pockets adding their knights as well, adding extra TCs. Very mirror matchup for now. Villager counts looking pretty even as well. Eye on eye game.
Yeah, definitely. I guess the difference is that Tato is kind of off on his lonesome on the right side, as Viper and Doubt have a team wall. Meanwhile, all of the Finnish guys seem to be doing their own thing as far as walling goes, and yeah, probably not going to be anything too crazy as far as I can tell. No sort of you know castle drop or anything like that for the Mayan players yet, as far as I can tell, and just University coming in for Tato for ballistics.
Oh yeah, and he has nice numbers there as well. 23 military for him. Overall, pretty even. And now we are pushing back Belize, who's trying to rush out the university as well. And that will be a lot of knights trying to take this frontal area down. At the same time, Dowd is moving out, trying to tag Zupi. I have no idea where he is camping. Okay, he's camping very far back at home. So will be 2v2 in Belize phase. Let's take a look how he can defend this.
Yep, we have Tato taking a pretty nice position on this little bit of a hill. Blessed does have one more armor than does Tato, but Tato, at least sensibly having some really good numbers right here, is even going to have Thumb Ring as well. So both Ballistics and Thumb Ring going to be in here for Tato before Valessa, and should be nice if a fight happens, but I don't even know if a fight's going to happen, as both teams are, at least for right now, possibly retreating.
Well, he was just waiting for ballistics, now moving in. The other side was Doubt, even out microing Zopi a bit here, so nice move for him. Has a bit of a better KD now, and the Finns are split up, but Secret feels like they're not having the numbers and they are retreating.
Yeah, I think Secret doesn't have the numbers right there, so I think it would, well, maybe they're just trying to posture, but I think that Valessa can take this hill, and with the faster reinforcement points as well, should be pretty good for Suomi, although Tato did get some nice little snipes with his crossbows.
The big question is now, when are the pockets transitioning into more stables? Might be really game decisive here. It feels like Elise and Tedo, they aren't really getting killed, just camping on hills, moving forward, going back, and yeah, more
It's
knights could be the kill.
pretty even. Out getting ballistics and thumbring himself, all that sort of good stuff. I really like what Tato's been doing with his crossbows, though. I think he's really had excellent micro, just doing a great job picking off any sort of straggler unit, whether that be crossbow or villager, and that is reflected in his 16 to 6 KD. So, little thing, but these little things can add up when the games are so close.
He's so good, man. And now pulling some crossbows away, always tries to engage with the whole group against some maybe at the front. And that's really tricky. Elise is patrolling. He's doing an okay job. Maybe not taking care at all spots. And Doubt now moving out into dangerous territory.
Doubt the got going deep into the base near the max. I mean, the max is currently out of position. He will obviously realize that the crossbows are coming, and the max's wall will probably have plenty of time to get his knights back home, and that's exactly what he's doing right now. And I feel like Doubt might get a little bit smashed right
But
here.
in the center, Viper's getting caught off guard. He wanted to come over to Doubt, and he is taking quite a lot of losses. Lost like one knight and a lot of HP here, but now is back together with Doubt. Tedo is trying to come over there as well. We might see our next 3v3 center fight.
Yeah, this is going to be a really big fight if indeed it does happen. But I feel like just the actual fight engagement is just a little bit cleaner for Suomi right now. But right now we have the max running into the jaws of about 1 million crossbowmen. Zupi a little bit lagging behind. I mean, this is a really even fight. Let's see how it goes.
Oh man, army compositions look so similar. Lovely stuff. It should be a bit better for the Finns here. They have faster shooting on the crossbowmen. Tedo not really having any advantages for his units. Rest should be virtually identical.
Yeah, also even the upgrades are the exact same, with the two left-hand flanks having +2 armor and the two right-hand flanks not having it. That's, of course, cavalry up. Actually, no, Viper is one attack upgrade behind the max, but that's not really that big of a deal. And Viper even going ahead and grabbing Forging right now.
Now they're losing quite a bit, the Team Secret guys. Let's take a look at villager count in the meanwhile. It looks a bit better even for the Finns here. The max playing extremely strong. Viper now is getting some more knights in. Are they trying to take this engagement once they have this hill?
I mean, I don't think that Swimmy can push into this hill. I think that would be a big mistake. And Zupi's got to be pretty careful. He doesn't want to be caught out of position, but looks like we will see Swimmy at least for the second disengaging. Don't really know if they should try and force that, but I think overall, if you're Swimmy, you can be pretty happy with how that went, don't you think?
Yeah, I think it was pretty even. Slight advantage for Suomi, maybe. Viper trying to catch some crossbows off guard, gets 2, loses 1 scout, nothing too big. Now it all comes down to camping the hills, and 2 gets up to Imperial Age first, and look at that.
Doubt, the power of doubt. Going to be getting up to the Imperial Age, not even focusing on the plumed archers. I mean, he has villagers on stone right now, but it's probably just going to be arbalests in the short run. And, obviously that could do work, as just one player having Arbalest and Bracer would be enough to turn the tide of this very evenly matched battle.
But the other main players clicking up now as well. Doubt 10 more villagers there. Elise added 3 archer range a bit before Doubt. And yeah, that is reflecting in the uptime. And you said Doubt, he's not going for plumes. Well, Elise, he is building a castle.
Yeah, so there's going to be this period where Velez is making the transition over to plumed archers, and subsequently he will not have as large an army because, well, he's switching over to plumed archers, and you're very limited in terms of production with only 1 castle. So this could provide a bit of an opportunity for Secret to, get some damage done, especially if you're going over, like, say, towards the base of Zupi, which is not defended with a castle. I think that could be potentially good for them, but we'll have to see, as pretty much everyone else is getting up to the Imperial Age at this point.
Oh man, and you know that a lot of people are enjoying like scrappy wild games and predictable stuff happening. For me, it's those games that really give me goosebumps. It's like perfect meta. Everyone is doing the exact thing that's like kind of optimal, not really reacting, but just playing the perfect, yeah, just textbook Age of Empires and see who plays it better. Beautiful.
Oh yeah, and I definitely agree. I think that there is a lot to be enjoyed in, like, both types of games, like the crazy games and the very sort of standard games, for lack of a better word. But I feel like with all the crazy games on Bedouins and Dry River we've been seeing, just a good old fashioned Arabia 3v3, this is definitely a joy to watch.
96 villagers for every secret player at the moment.
Team 96.
And well, that actually is interesting because the max is 30 ahead then. Slightly disadvantage for Velis, but not too important. Most important thing is now the Arbalest count here for Dowd, who's getting quite a lot of kills. Nice job by him.
Yeah, Dowd has a very large army of Arbalests. Like I was saying, the transition into Plumed Archers does mean that in the short run, your army count is going to be a little bit lower. And yeah, just having Arbalest and now all the attack upgrades, it really means it's going to be tricky for Suomi to actually take this engagement. Also, the Viper, for what it's worth, has the Chivalry upgrade, meaning that these Cavaliers are going to fly out of his stable, and even just getting the Cavalier upgrade is going to be a lot faster. So we're going to see if maybe Secret can use this advantage to get some damage in.
Yeah, not even the Cavalier, but also the Paladin upgrade is just getting so much faster as well. He's now going to the left-hand side. The Max is trying to chase this down. And Viper, with the early upgrade for now, will get some villager kills here for sure. We see Zupi trying to get some house walls up. Will get tricky, though, against that amount.
Mangonel's coming in. Might...
Oh, big fight against Doubt at the top.
Oh, yeah, is it Doubt Micro? Power of Doubt Micro? It doesn't matter if the power of Zupi's Ethiopian Arbalests just mowing down Doubt's army. Even though they were missing a couple upgrades, just having the better numbers and, of course, the faster fire rate is just so strong. But now Viper trying to come in with his Cavalier, but with the Max here to reinforce his teammate. Is this going to be a fantastic trade for Viper? No, he will be running away.
Yeah, but at the same time, he did so much damage to the eco of Zupi, killing more than 15 villagers here. Yeah, the Viper is losing some, and the Max is taken to Paladins, but that was still quite a kill against the eco of Zupi.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think you can be very happy with that if you're Viper. I think it's okay to trade some amount of military for, a relatively proportionate amount of economy at this point in the game, just because everyone is working with, a decent-sized army, and it should be pretty tricky to actually push into your opponent. Doubt now making the switch over to Elite Plumed Archers. Unfortunately, his Obsidian Arrows upgrade not going to really matter much to the disappointment of Twitch chat, I'm sure.
Yeah, no masterpiece here. And, well, he will just play Elite Plumed Archers. Should be a nice composition there. Maybe Zupi in the long run can get onto some siege and do some one-ers at the left-hand side. And we also want to see when Tero is able to transition into Elite Mangudais, has two castles up and started the production. Now we get into the phase to ask ourselves who gets the better trade rolling.
Yeah, of course, that's going to be a pretty important factor. Incredibly important factor, rather. But, well, the Max has Paladin complete, Viper does not. And so Viper is going to be on the retreat for the time being. But of course, as we were saying, Viper did end up trading some Cavalier to get damage done onto Zupi's eco, but, well, that means he doesn't have as many Paladins as his Cyan counterpart. And if Zupi can, if Max can force an engagement here, rather, it could be really tricky for Viper, as Paladin is a little ways from done just yet.
Look at the overall population here. The Max basically pop limit against the Viper, who's struggling to get even to pop 150, and now we're taking a fight Cavalier against Paladins here, which you see won't really help that much.
Almost done.
Really good for the Max.
Yeah, Viper able to complete Paladin, but to what end? You're down to like half the army count of your opponent. Though it looks like with the faster reinforcements, like, guys, Chivalry is a good upgrade. Get that upgrade if you're Franks. It allowed Viper to power through the Paladin upgrade, which is a very slow research time, and is really allowed him to get all the necessary Paladins he's needed to support his own base. But on the flip side, Doubt is going to be losing castles, which is not what you want if you're relying on your unique unit.
Oh boy, absolutely not. You don't need that many if you are Marians, but 3, 4 is, yeah, absolutely needed. And Well, now he's going down to 2, and that leaves one of his gold spots at the left-hand side, super exposed as well.
Oh yeah, this is I think really looking good for Suomi right now. Really just I think showing their class in terms of late game mechanical skill. I mean, Doubt's kind of on the run. Yes, he has elite plumed archers, which are going to deal well with the arbalests, but that's just so many paladins from the max working with over a 2-to-1 KD right now. Tato nearly fully upgraded elite Mangudai, but again, it's a very slow transition, and Tato's arbalests are not fully upgraded as they don't get the last armor upgrade. So this is looking pretty tricky here for Team Secret.
Yeah, and Arbalest, they're really losing in value. What do you want to face, really? Lead plumed archers? No. Paladins? No. Arbalest on the other side of Ethiopians? Neither. So, Tato's Arbalests, yeah, they're nice, giving him close to pop 200s, but they aren't really the units he wants to have in the long run.
And the max is getting bearded axe. It's time for throwing axeman, maybe?
Oh,
Not
no.
sure why, but
What? No. No one is going for the throwing X-Men, right?
that would be rather strange if he did, considering their throwing axemen are terrible against every single unit Secret's making. But regardless, Suomi seems to be doing or still continuing to do an excellent job pushing, and we see Doubt down to only the one castle for elite plumed archer production.
And is he getting stone anywhere? One of his stone spots is at the front, where Zuppi is building another castle. And while we might see the big engagement, Tato, where is he going with all his mango dice? Where are they? Didn't he send?
They are currently running across the front of Viper towards Doubt, but this might just
castle at the
be a
left-hand
little
side.
too late.
Okay, what does Doubt need to do now? Does he need to transition back into Arbalest? Looks like it. He is producing Arbalest again, which is okay-ish, but not the greatest thing. Paladin numbers for the max, so much better as well here. Is Suomi going for the kill?
I think they are, and I think that it's really not. Yeah, I don't think Secret can really do a whole lot at this point. There's still tons of Arbalests and Plumed Archers in the backlines for Team Suomi, and just not really the elite Mangudai numbers I think that Tato needs at this point, as again, they are just such a slow unit to transition to. And I think that this should be some pretty easy cleanup work for Team Suomi.
Yeah, Plumed Archer is going back, and while going back, he loses more and more. Just Ethiopian Arbalest, they are chasing down so beautifully here. Belize is helping out, and that's just the story of this game. How beautifully all the players really working together with their teammates and taking great 3v3, 2v3 fights.
Yeah, it's just been. This has just been such a great game to watch and cast. It's just every single player in this game is such a high level, but it's just these little, decisions, little bit of a, maybe slightly better macro from the max compared to Viper, just really sealing the deal and ultimately will likely give Suomi the W this game, as all three of their players are chilling at around 200 population. No one on Secret is, that close to getting there themselves. Doubt Space is currently being leveled by Siege Rams, and yeah, currently nothing to stop the onslaught of Suomi.
Oh man, Tato, he's getting onto Siege Engineers, prepares a lot of Rams here, will make a big go against Belize. Maybe that can give him some breathing room, but at the same time, Doubt, he is the one who needs way more help, but the Max, he is just pushing there, building more stables in the center, and they are going for the kill. 60 Paladins for the Max, 90 military for Zuppi, and 70 for Belize. That's just massive.
That is a lot of large armies for Team Suomi, though it's kind of killing me a little bit inside that Zuppi doesn't have the last armor upgrade, but regardless, that is still, 90 military, Ethiopians, super scary late game civ, seeing, torsion engines come in for Zuppi, and oh boy, can torsion engine siege rams flatten a lot of buildings.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, let's take a look. Do we have another engagement at the left-hand side? It just feels like Tato is trying to come over with Mango Dice and then take a fight with the Viper. But the Max now going for some raids over and over again. Doubt dropping below 100 pop. This seems over.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's like, obviously it's not as much of a super long back and forth slugfest of a game, but this does kind of remind me of that game between AM and Suomi on Serengeti that was so excellent, where it's just the sheer power of Suomi in this sort of, late game decision making, team coordination situations. Just they really know how to play the late game, and this is obviously just playing to their strengths.
Yeah, but the big difference there was that both teams had a fully set up trade. That's something we cannot say for Team Secret, as we can see overall numbers below 50 here when it comes to trade cards. And that's just not the scenario we want to be at the 52-minute mark in a game.
Definitely not. We're seeing Team Suomi with maybe 50% more trade cards than Secret right now, and that is just a game-winning difference. I think is pretty safe to say. Viper trying some fancy gate shenanigans to lock in Vlos's Elite Plumed Archers, but not being particularly successful in doing so. Tato making a brave last stand on this hill, but I think with just all of the units here for Suomi, they're not going to be getting pushed back anytime soon.
How can they? Left-hand side, well, Doubt is onto okayish numbers now with 46 military, but all of a sudden, the Viper only at 12 military himself, losing more and more. Still beautiful hill control, more paladins coming in. This is the final push that cannot be stopped.
Yeah, there's no way to stop this, really, as far as I can see. I mean, they can try.
Max Castle there in the base of Viper. All the armies. That castle might even go up. They could push for the trade and end the game here. I think they will end the game. Yeah, it is Tato sending some stuff over the Viper as well, but not much they can do. GG.
GG. Nilly, if that castle from Max is anything, that is what I would call a get out my game castle.
Yeah.
And indeed, we did see Secret get out the game.
Yeah. So it did what it was supposed to. And at the same time, Tato was going for the ram go, but a little too late to really stop the Plumed Archer production there. And Onu, I think I will watch this game 6 more times.
I know I'm going to watch it again.
This is just, we are casters and are supposed to overhype situations sometimes, but this is probably one of the highest level plays we have ever seen, because it was so meta, so standard, so clean when it came to us seeing what happened, and still Suomi took an advantage against potentially the best team in the world. I really want to see through every single step of this game several times again.
I feel like I need to watch it. Okay, I'm going to watch it from Zupi's POV, and I'm going to watch it from Max's POV. Just to see exactly how it was that really we just saw, Suomi play just that, 5% better. That just makes all the difference at this level.
I think actually something I saw quite early on was Secret playing so cautiously. When we saw the two groups of crossbows in the south, and Tato and Viper had the crossbows and knights, and Tato was picking off crossbows from Veles one after another. And they, at that point, I felt like Secret were getting that small edge, They kept making these really good little trades, getting just this 1 or 2 additional unit kills every engagement. But Max, man, I mean, it all snowballed out of control early imp, right? Max just absolutely did the damage with those Cavalier and Paladins.
Yeah, sick. Viper was raiding Zupi, and at the same time got some raid in his own, and untypically late start of trade from the Viper as well.
Yeah, I feel like Secret made the mistake that I feel like Suomi often makes, where they were just, like Zach was saying, a little too passive, a little too cautious, not really making bold decisions in terms of taking military engagements or going for greedy economic plays. And usually with Secret, it's the super greedy economic plays, but we didn't even really see that from Secret. They just kind of did a normal thing, and you did see Suomi able to take those small advantages to victory.
They definitely did a thing. All right. Well, Suomi get that first victory there in this best of 3. Could this be the upset? Obviously, game 2 will decide that, as we'll be going into that in a minute. Looking at the stats then real quick. Wow, Doubt.
Wow, Doubt. Well, in the end, it's 100 villagers dying, Arbalest against Paladins fighting off. So it kind of makes sense. 10 minutes before that, the KD was probably more like 100 to 100.
Yeah, probably more like maybe 100 to 200. Well, 160 to 200, let's say. Give him
look
the
at
benefit of the doubt. Sorry.
There we go. Wait, but if you're still in the achievements, take a look at the gold income from the max. He had what, around 10k to 11k more gold than every other player in this game. A lot of that coming off the back of trade. That's just bonkers. It's a lot of paladins.
Yeah, that was a big problem there. Doubt even slinging Viper some. And yeah, it just felt like Viper, he's normally one of the early guys to start trade. Didn't really go for that this game. Kind of questionable.
Yeah, definitely. But I'm excited for game number 2. I don't know if you are, Nilly. I assume you are.
Obviously, especially like Dry River and Secret trained some with Heresy before that. So I'm curious what strategy Secret will go for as well.